never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. And there's no tenderness like before from your fingertips. You're trying hard not to show it, baby. But baby, baby, I know it. You lost that love and feeling. Have you lost that love and feeling, sweetie?
You know, it's funny that you should ask that because, yeah, completely.
Yeah. I knew it was just a matter of time. That's what happens, you know. People love me at first and then, you know, they get over it.
No, I'm just kidding. I still love you.
Okay, thanks. Okay. BOOZHOO. Welcome to the BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO live stream. The early morning live stream about Ojibwe language and culture. I am NANABOOZHOO. And in the studio with me today, the lovely and talented Natasha. Ekadon BOOZHOO, Weenie Moshane. Say hello, sweetheart.
BOOZHOO, everybody. BOOZHOO.
Okay. And of course, the producer of the show, Mr. Michael Lyons himself. Ekadon BOOZHOO, Niji. Say hello, brother. Hello, everyone. And, yeah. Yeah, we got some boys in the back there, some res dogs. How you fellas doing? I'm doing pretty good, boss. Oh, yeah, I'm doing real good. Yeah. So I don't know. Here we are. So here we are. And our Ojibwe word of the day. Akako jishi. Akako jishi. Groundhog. Hey, BOOZHOO, Jim. Jim is here.
BOOZHOO, Jim.
Natasha says BOOZHOO. Akako jishi. Groundhog. That's because it's Groundhog's Day today, huh, honey?
It sure is. Is this the day where things just happen over and over again the same way?
Well, that's what everyone thinks Groundhog's Day is now. Ever since that movie with what's his name? Bill Murray. Everyone thinks, oh yeah, Groundhog's Day is the day you experience over and over again. But it's actually Akako Jishi comes out of his hibernation. And he looks for his shadow. And if he sees that shadow, he says, there will be 6 more weeks of winter. Or if he doesn't see a shadow. I never know which one it's supposed to be. I mean, what's the point of this whole, oh, it's Groundhog's Day. You know, it's when Akakojishi, it's when he looks for his shadow and tells us if there'll be 6 more weeks of winter. But I don't know why that's the thing that, I don't know. Hey, where's my shadow? Let's hope he doesn't get up too early when it's still dark out. But, yeah. And then what does that mean anyway? I don't know.
Hey, sweetie.
Yeah, what?
We got a call.
Oh, we do? Okay. Oh, you want to put him on?
Line 2.
All right. Line 2. Caller, you're on the air.
Hello, love.
Oh, is this the, Akoko Jishi?
That's right. Akako Jishi. Nindigen cause. Akako Jishi Nindigen cause. Groundhog is my name.
Oh, wow. It sounds like you have an English accent.
Oh, that's right. My people come from England, they do.
Well, then how do you know how to speak Ojibwe?
Well, 'cause I watch your show, sir.
Oh, wow. All right. What can I do for you today on this very special Groundhog Day?
Well, I thought I'd call in because I heard you talking about my special day.
Oh, really? You're going to go out and check your shadow?
Yeah, I thought I'd wait a while until the sun came up. I'm just sitting here having me coffee. Me black medicine water, as they say.
Yeah, they do. So what's up with this whole looking for your shadow? What's the story behind that?
I gotta be honest with you, mate. I don't really know how that started. I suspect it started with me granddad.
Oh, really? With your grandfather?
Yeah. Back in the days of the grandfather, as I heard a bloke say once, they say that he would look for his shadow and then tell us how much winter was left. As the years went on, I sort of picked up the mantle.
Yeah, I suppose you would, huh?
But I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, what does it even mean by 6 more weeks of winter? Is it supposed to snow for the last time in 6 weeks? Or does that mark the day that the last snowflake melts? I just don't know.
Yeah, I guess I never really thought about it. What does that even mean? 6 more weeks of winter. Like winter just shuts off at 6 weeks.
I know. And 6 more weeks of winter for who? I mean, if you go down south, it stops way sooner than up in Minnesota, eh?
That's right. It does. We seem to have a lot more winter than a lot of people do. You know, I checked the weather today and they were like, oh yeah, it's 14 degrees. But it feels like it's 4. I'm like, why don't you just tell us what it feels like?
I know, I've never understood that either. Wind chill.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know, I'm, and on behalf of the show, all of us here, I just want to say that I think you have a hard job. We appreciate what you do. And good luck today. I hope you see your shadow or don't or whatever it is that makes spring come sooner.
Well, mate, I guess I'll go out and do me best, as they say. Put a show on for the folks.
Yeah, okay. Anything else we can do for you today?
No, just keep up the good work, NanaBOOZHOO. I sure do appreciate your early morning podcast. My day doesn't start right unless I can watch me bloke NanaBOOZHOO on the podcast.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for calling in.
That's right. I'll call back again someday.
Oh, that'd be nice. All right, I'll see you later.
Gigawabba min, a min a wa, NanaBOOZHOO.
Yeah, Gigawabba min, minawa, Niji. Well, there you go. Akako Jishi. Groundhog. Sounds like he doesn't really know what he's doing. You know. I kind of think all the hype about Groundhog's Day is just so, you know, the early morning weather people can have something to talk about. All right. Hey, Shady Side is here, sweetie.
BOOZHOO, Shady Side Turtle.
She says, howdy. And she's got her shades on. She's got a sun with shades. Shady's side's her future's so bright, she's got to wear shades. Junior Isaac says, BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO from Carlton, Isaac. Choctaw Ojibwe from all the way down in Philadelphia, MS. What's MS, sweetie?
Is that Missouri?
I'm going to assume it's Missouri. Hey, that's cool, man. BOOZHOO, Junior. Oh, wow. All the way from Philadelphia. Hikes. I hate it when this show exposes how little I understand. How dumb I really am. Where is Philadelphia? I thought that was over by like New York or something. Massachusetts. I bet you it means Massachusetts. Hey, Junior, is Philadelphia in Massachusetts? Daniel Black is here. Good afternoon, BOOZHOO crew. How's it going? Oh, that's right. Daniel's over in Scotland or England or somewhere. I think he lives in England, but he's Scottish. I looked at his Facebook. He also looks kind of native. He got a little picture of himself there. He's just dark. Daniel, are you Anishinaabe? Shady Side Turtle says, Mississippi. Oh, thank you, Shady Side. It's in Mississippi. Philadelphia, Mississippi. There must be more than one Philadelphia. All right. Well, the BOOZHOO crew's here. Here on the Groundhog's Day. What if you had to live today over and over again, sweetie? How would you feel?
I don't know. I don't want to live the same day over and over again.
Yeah. If I had to live the same day over and over again, I'd pick one from the summer of 1985. Those were good times, huh?
Oh, they were the best.
Yeah. Shady Side's got question marks. Maybe it's not Mississippi. Mississippi. You know what a groundhog is, sweetie?
What's that?
It's what we call a woodchuck. We don't have groundhogs. We have woodchucks. Daniel says, yes, I am. Years of doubt, but my newly found sister confirmed when we met. Yeah, that's, you look at that Facebook and you can tell a lot about a person. It looks like you were adopted or something. Or the rest of your family just got that good Chomokaman complexion. They were fair. They were the fairest of them all. Poor old Daniel, he wasn't very fair. It's not fair. I got a tan. Now they're always going to want to see ID. Anyway. Hallelujah. 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 So, Groundhog's Day. Akako Jishi. And,
Sweetie,
yeah?
we got another call.
Oh, really? What's with all these calls? It's not like we're even a call-in show.
I know, but...
All right, what line?
Line 2.
All right. Okay, caller, you're on the air.
Yes, this is President Donald J. Trump.
Don't you mean former president?
Yeah, whatever.
How you doing? Can I call you Donald now?
You go right ahead and you can call me Donald. Some people call me Donald. Some people call me Don. Just don't call me late for supper.
Yeah, okay. That's kind of an old joke. What can I do for you, Don?
Well, I was wondering if I could teach an Ojibwe word of the day.
Well, we've already got an Ojibwe word of the day. It's Akako Jishi, groundhog.
Oh, that's too bad.
Why? What did you want to teach?
Well, I guess I just didn't know. Maybe Ninishkades. Nishkades. Mad. 'Cause let me tell you something. I'm mad.
Why are you so mad?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to get into it.
Do you feel like you were robbed? Do you feel like maybe there was some shenanigans that went on and maybe you were more popular?
I just don't understand it. I worked so hard, and I wanted everyone to love me, but I lost the election.
Yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes, You never know what's going to happen with these elections.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll come back in 4 years.
Yeah, think about it. I think the people are going to miss you.
Do you really think so? Will they miss my charm? Will they miss my handsome face?
I don't know what they're going to miss. But you sure got a lot of people worked up. Say what you will about the Donald Trump presidency. It really got everybody, worked up. Nobody was indifferent. It was hot or cold.
That's really true. I'm like tea. You either like me hot or you like me cold.
Yeah.
Just as long as you like me. Please, America, like me.
I don't think that's the way that works.
I know.
So what are you going to do now that you don't have to be the president anymore?
Well, I don't know. I was thinking about maybe following the lead of my old friend George W. Bush and take up painting.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. You should paint or something. Maybe start drawing. It might relax you a little bit. And you might want to cut out a couple of those Diet Cokes too. You seem kind of high-strung.
Yeah, I'm up to like 2 cases of Diet Coke every day.
Yeah, that's not good. But I also hear you don't drink.
No, I never touch the Ishkodewabu.
The fire water?
No, I don't believe in it. I don't like to drink. I can keep my wits about me.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll give you that much. I'm not so sure those Big Macs are any better for you, though.
Well, I gotta have something, you know.
Okay. Anything else I can do for you today, sir?
No, that's all. Just wanted to call in and say, you know, BOOZHOO, and to give my Ojibwe word of the day.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for calling in, man. You can call in anytime you like.
All right then, NANABOOZHOO. Giga man, Minowa.
Okay, Gigo Abamin. Whoops. How do I get rid of them? There we go. The Don calls in.
I know, it's crazy. How do you get our number?
Well, I suppose, Secret Service or something. They can track your phone. Plus, we're in the yellow pages.
We are?
Well, we aren't, but Michael is. How come they still give us yellow page books? Does the company that make the yellow pages, have they not heard of the internet? Every 6 months, we get these two big, phone books. Like, oh, good. Thank you for the phone book. You just killed a tree for this, and I'm going to just throw it away. I'm going to recycle it for the environment. But, yeah. We don't need phone books anymore. It's called Google. All right. So Junior says, it is Mississippi, NANABOOZHOO. Oh, okay. Thank you. Do you have a southern accent? Do you have a drawl? I love the southern drawl. Hey, y'all. What's up? Some people, they get scared when they hear the southern accent. They think, uh-oh, here comes a redneck. I bet you that man's going to have all kinds of political opinions I don't agree with. I'm going to tell you what. Just because they talk that way, it don't mean a thing. It don't mean they're going to have intolerant opinions. In fact, to assume that's a sort of intolerance. I think it's time we stick up for the Southern people. That's the one stereotype that everyone, that and Italians. Nobody ever, in this world of political correctness, how you can't make fun of anybody based on their race, unless they're from the South. You can make all kinds of terrible assumptions, and or if they're Italians, the first thing anybody says, "Oh, are you in the mob?" What? You can't just stereotype people based on their ethnicity. You know who does that? Indians. Not just kidding. So Shady Side said, worked up to preferable to unintentional unemployment. Preferable to unintentional unemployment. You worked up to unintentional unemployment. I think that's like sugar-coated speak for... sounds like Shady Side got canned. Did you lose your job, Shady Side? You went to preferable to unintentional unemployment. I guess we're sort of unintentionally unemployed too, huh? But I prefer it this way. I'm both. Junior Isaac says, groundhog. In Choctaw, it would be funny. Pronounced funny. No kidding. That's cool. In Choctaw, today is called funny. Yeah, let's try to make this show funny. For Groundhog's Day. For Funny Day. I don't know. Oh, the pressure's really on. I can't just be funny on command. Think a joke. I got no jokes.
Got a phone call.
What? Another one? All right. Line 2?
Yep, line 2.
Okay. Who's it going to be this time? Caller, you're on the air. Call, you're called back. Yes, that's right. I just wanted to call and say BOOZHOO. Or maybe I should say what do I say? Mino giga jeb. Mino giga jeb. You want to say good morning? Yes. I want to say good morning to the BOOZHOO crew. Yeah, okay. Take it easy. So yeah, that's cool. How are things in Sesame Street? Oh, I'm not in Sesame Street currently. I got out of that place about a month ago. Oh, really? How come? Oh, it's a nightmare there. The pollution, the homelessness, it's horrible. Really? There's a lot of homelessness in Sesame Street? Oh, let me tell you. We have people living in garbage cans. Garbage cans, can you imagine? Don't you sleep in a coffin? Hey, watch your mouth. Oh, yeah, sorry. So where are you calling from? I'm back in Transylvania, my homeland. I'm back with my people here in Transylvania. Oh, that's cool. So, what's it like being back home? Is it true that what they say, how you can never go home again? Well, it's kind of true and it's not true. I came back thinking I would see my old friends from school, but they've all moved on. Oh yeah, that'll happen, You go back to your hometown thinking it's going to feel like when you were a kid. And there's a bunch of strangers there living now because all your people moved away. And new people moved in. You can never go home again. So what can I do for your account? Oh, nothing. Just wanted to say, Mino Giga Jab. Good morning to the BOOZHOO crew. All right. Well, Mino Giga Jab count. And thank you for calling in. Yes, have a good day. Have a Mino Giga good. Yeah, you too, Niji. All right, well, how come Groundhog's back? And Count is back. All right, here we go. I'm really pushing my luck trying to do too many graphics, One of these days, I'm just going to hang up on the live stream. And without any warning, it'll just be click. And we'll be sitting around going, okay, what do? We go back on? Everyone's going to move on. So Shady Side smiling. I think she's laughing. Okay. Well, we got our work cut out for us. I feel like I should tell a story. So, back in the days of the grandfathers, there was a young boy named Peter Parker. And Peter Parker was really into science. Nah, that story's too long. Everyone saw the movie anyway. So Junior says, I was born in Chicago. My mom is from Cass Lake. Get out. That's where we're filming from. Cass Lake's like 15 minutes down the road. I used to live in Cass Lake. I do have an accent. When I visit Chicago, they like the accent from this native. Like in MS since 11 or 12. I'm 53 now. Love your podcast. Oh, Junior, it's so great to have you here. Michael just turned 54. Are you stuck in the 80s like he is? Have you become closed-minded to new music? Did you cry a little bit when Prince died? Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, but those stereotypes about the South. It kind of goes back to this whole, like, every group is protected except the white male. The white Southern male, they have the worst stereotypes. Because their stereotypes are like, oh, you guys are slave owners or something. And everyone thinks it's funny. Everyone can make jokes. I had a friend, she used to be from the Appalachian Mountains. And people would call her a hillbilly. She was half, I think she was Choctaw. No, what was she? She was a, just about called her a chickadee, a Cherokee. Is that what she was? Yeah, she was a Cherokee. And she was from the Appalachian Mountains. And people would call her a hillbilly. And one day I mentioned that movie, Deliverance. And she goes, oh, I hate that movie. I go, why do you hate Deliverance? That's a great movie. And she goes, that movie is so horrible to people from the Appalachian Mountains. Number one, we don't like that term hillbilly. That movie did more to set back our people than anything else. And then I thought about it and was like, you're right. How would we have liked it if there was a movie about a bunch of white guys coming up to Cass Lake and the locals did to those guys what happened in that movie? And then the stereotype forever about Cass Lake, the Chips, Chippewas, the Anishinaabe from up here were like that. And I'm like, oh, wow, you're right. I don't like that movie anymore. It's like, it's horrible. That reminds me, too. I think she might have been in a book. Or she gave me a book. And it was like famous Native American writers or something like that. And they would have like it's a whole bunch of different Native American writers. And there was this one girl, I think she was Cherokee or Choctaw or something, who wrote some. I don't even remember why she was in there. I just remember the picture, and I was like, "Oh wow, what a cutie! This girl's really cute." And I showed the picture to my friend, and he looks up and he goes, "What, are you kidding?" I went, "No, isn't she beautiful? Check it out. That's the kind of woman I like." And he goes, "You're joking, right?" And I go, "What?" And she goes, "This girl looks like she could be your sister. This is basically the female version of yourself." And I realized, oh man, that is my type. Do you think so? Yeah. I mean, let's face it, you and I could be brother and sister. I like girls who look like myself. I guess that means I'm kind of an egotistical person. Or a narcissist or something. I don't know. Hey, Sheila's here. Bonjour, Sheila. Natasha says, bonjour. How you doing, Sheila? Oh, Sheila. Everybody sings a song at Oh, Sheila. Speaking of Prince. Hoa. Hoa. Yeah. So stereotypes. So let's see. So the Southern guys are stereotyped as being, gun nuts, truck nuts, crazy about trains. I don't know. Hey, y'all. To be slow, Southern. But there used to be a stereotype of Southern hospitality that I think is still kind of true. Where they're super polite. Kind of like Minnesota people, but not so dorky. Just like, take off your hat. Take off your hat. Southern people will bow. They still bow. There's a formality. Of course, I'm just lumping up all people south of, Illinois. That's the South to me. I don't really understand the difference between people from, Florida and Texas. Junior says, I'm still an 80s dude. Dude, I was in a hair band, man. Yeah. Oh, you're still in a hair band? That's awesome. Michael plays guitar, and he's sort of a hair band nut. Once in a while, we'll have Paul Stanley on here. We forgot to do that. We were going to talk about the Paul Stanley coffee commercial. Yeah. Have you ever seen a Paul Stanley Folgers commercial, Junior? It's so funny. Shady Side says, I might be from the Choctaw tribe. I leave non-secret chalk messages on sidewalks. She's a Choctaw warrior. A chalk sidewalk warrior. When you do art like that, it's because you know the preciousness of how nothing lasts forever. People always want their art to last forever, but it won't. Even your songs and that. People will stop listening to them. Yeah. Unless you're living in Groundhog's Day, then everything just goes over and over again. Groundhog's Day. Wouldn't it be weird if you did, in fact, wake up one morning and it wasn't just yesterday all over again, but you were back like 10 years ago, 20 years ago? Since no kids watch this show, I'm just going to say 20 years ago. So where were you 20 years ago? And what if you just woke up and you were right back there? And maybe you would go, oh, you know what? 20 years ago, oh, wow. I had that really cute girlfriend. That'd be all right. But you would have to start all over again. 20 years ago, we didn't have anything. Where were you 20 years ago, Michael? 20 years ago, what year was that? 1991? No, it's 2001. Yeah, see how old you were getting? 2001. So, where were you in the year 2001? I think that was the year I moved to Boulder. Or maybe that was the year before I moved to Boulder. You don't remember? Yeah, it was definitely the year before I moved to Boulder. Everyone knows where they were during 9/11. Yeah, that's right. So I was living in Duluth, and I had done some comic strips, and I was in a band. And I think I'd recorded 3 songs in my whole life, and not professional or anything. Oh, wow. Yeah, what if you woke up and you suddenly had to just, do it all over again the last 20 years? You know what? I wouldn't want to do it all over again. Yeah, me either. I mean, I wouldn't mind being 20 years younger, looking younger. But I wouldn't want to have to start all over and work my way back up. What do you think, sweetie? Would you want to go back 20 years?
20 years ago? No, I guess not.
Yeah. I mean, it's so hard to say. Were things better 20 years ago? When George Bush was president? Right before 9/11. 9/11 still hadn't happened yet. You could just walk around the airport. Nobody had cell phones. Oh, yes, a few people had cell phones 20 years ago. But not everybody did. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think we're stuck just moving forward. Excuse me. What do you think, sweetie? You want to come up here and say hello to the people?
Yeah, I could.
All right. Hey, before we do this, NanaBOOZHOO will return after these messages with, and we'll return and Natasha will be here. So let's see if my commercial works. Hold on. And again, here I am. I might just hang up on us. Where are you? Here we go.
Bonjour, Nij Anishinaabe Doog. Hello, my fellow Anishinaabe. Anamotion Indigenous cause. Dog is my name. That's right, dog is my name. Anyway, Anamosh is actually my name. I just wanted to remind y'all that we do have links in the description box to our Patreon account, to Michael's Amazon page, to the GoFundMe campaign. What else we got down there? Teespring. Oh yeah. And Teespring. Also, if you'd like to support the show, give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Alright. I guess that's all I had to say. Now back to more BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. Alright.
And just like that, here I am. That was our commercial. BOOZHOO! So yeah, I'm a little short again. Sunny day, la-di-da-di. Oh, here we go. Now I'm tall. Hey, BOOZHOO. Natasha Nindijinikaz. Natasha is my name. And I just wanted to come up and say BOOZHOO to Junior. Welcome to the show. It's nice to have another cast Laker. That's what we call, like, the different reservations in Minnesota. He's a Cast Laker. He's a Fond du Laker. He's a Leech Laker. He's a Red Laker. We don't say, oh, he's from Red Lake. It's like being from a reservation is doing something. I'm Leech Laking. I'm a Fond du Laker.
Anywhere I go, I fond du lac. Oh, I just about knocked off the mouse. Sheila says, cute. You're cute, Sheila. Brandy Marie. Hey, Brandy Marie is here. Bonjour, Brandy Marie. Bonjour, Brandy Marie. Do you like my earrings? Daniel Black says, bonjour, Natasha. Yeah, Natasha. Bonjour, Daniel. He's back. I'm back. Back in black at the sack. I'm gone so long, glad to be back. Well, I'm set loose from the noose. Do. Yeah. So, Groundhog's Day. Akakojishi. Groundhog. Will we have 6 more weeks of winter? I don't know. I'm ready for spring now, but don't get me started. Junior says, couldn't talk or speak the language. Yeah, well, join a club. I think a lot of us have to learn the language later in life. I hate to say it because so many people who watch this show are in actual Ojibwe language classes in school. You know? In fact, Michael used to teach Ojibwe language, right? Yeah, I sure did for 3 years. And, but you go to these schools, they've been teaching Ojibwe now since the 80s. And the kids will take, Ojibwe. And I have yet to meet a kid who can, say a whole sentence. They don't learn anything in those Ojibwe classes. I don't know why. Well, because it's school, I guess. You don't learn anything in school. But, do you think your kids learned anything? I bet right now, if they had to, they could introduce themselves. Because we would kind of do the same thing every day. We'd introduce ourselves and then do a talking circle. And they all knew probably how to do a tobacco offering in Ojibwe. But that's about it. No, they wouldn't be able to have a conversation with anybody. Yeah. I don't know, man. Nobody wants to admit it, but boy, our work is cut out for us when it comes to when we talk to news people and stuff. It's we're language revitalization. We're going to revitalize the language. It's really your dumb little morning live stream's going to teach people how to speak Ojibwe? Yeah, okay, good luck with that. But maybe they'll learn the word BOOZHOO. I don't know. I don't care. La, la, la. Sheila's from White Earth. Well, there you go. The White Earth is right down that's about a good hour drive from here. Puxatawny Phil just said 6 more weeks of winter. Oh, okay. Did you hear that, sweetie? What's that? Puxatawny Phil says there's 6 more weeks of winter. Well, I could have guessed that. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I guess we're going to listen to an old groundhog. But what does that even mean? 6 more weeks of winter. And that'll be what? The middle of March? We'll see. I remember one year we went down to Standing Rock Reservation on April 20th, I think, or 21st. Whatever Earth Day is. We had a gig down in Standing Rock Reservation in North Dakota. And you go down there, and, it's the middle of April. And it's, cold, but there's no snow. Until we're driving back, and what do you know? A blizzard just pops up out of nowhere. And we drive right into the ditch. And I'm like, it's April 20th. How come we're in a snowstorm? The snowplow guy had to come and pull us out. And that wasn't that long ago. Well, now it was probably 20 years ago. Hikes. Time is on my side. Yes, it is. time. I think the Rolling Stones should quit singing that song. Because I got news for you, Mick and Keith. Time is no longer on your side. It's like borrowed time is on your side now, Rolling Stones. Shady Side Turtle says, it's Clint Black History Month. Clint Black History Month. He sang about my friend Steve Thundercloud in Like the Rain. Like the Rain. I'm still new to country music. I don't know the song Like the Rain. But it's Clint Black History Month. Is it Jack Black History Month too? You know, Anamosh was part of that, Anamosh, weren't you part of Black Lives Matter?
Yes, I was. I was a member of the Black Lives Matter group and Antifa.
Oh, so is this a pretty important month to you as a Black Lives Matter person?
Well, you know, I'll be honest with you, Natasha. I'm no longer affiliated with those groups, actually.
How come?
Well, should I just come on camera and talk about it?
You know, you could. Would you guys like to listen to Anamosh talk about his time with Black Lives Matter and Antifa? Why do I ask like you're just going to answer immediately? It takes a while. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring Anamosh out here. Well, Anamosh, why don't you come out here? And I'm going to stand over there and interview you.
Okay. Hi. Well, I'm making my way over there. And like I say, I'm no longer part of the Black Lives Matter group. Hello, everyone. Anamosh Nindigenous Cause. Anamosh, dog. Well, that's my name. So what do you want to know, Natasha?
Well, can you tell me why you were in Black Lives Matter?
Well, you know, it's funny. Sometimes me and the boys get together and we get talking. We can get kind of worked up, you know. I didn't care for that President Trump. I wanted to protest what I thought was, racial injustice. So I joined the Black Lives Matter group. And, I mean, it's silly now when you think about it. But we thought that, we could do something for the country if we took over Seattle. Was that us? No, those were my friends from the Antifa. We thought, you know what? We got some problems we need to take care of in this country. And we can sit and we can blame everybody else, or we can do something about it. So I joined Antifa, and I joined Black Lives Matter. And then I went out protesting, and I started a fire. And I wrote Black Lives Matter in spray paint all over this wall. It was a bakery. And then I smashed the window of the bakery. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I thought it would help. I don't know. I can't decide where to sit. So yeah, that was me. Little Anamosh trying to change the world. I swear. Seemed like a good idea at the time, but now I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if we didn't do more harm than good.
Yeah, you think?
Yep. Well, that's all I had to say. Brandy Marie asks, "Oh wow, what were you thinking?" I don't know, Brandy Marie. I guess I got caught up in the excitement of all of it, you know. I mean, it's kind of funny, an old white dog like me. But I'm not a white dog, I'm a res dog. I'm more Anishinaabe than half the Anishinaabes on that res. You want to talk living traditionally, come be a res dog. That's the way we do it on a res. Junior Isaac says, I love Clint Black's music. Yep, the Blacks do have good music. Wait, what?
It's just so easy to slide into dangerous, what sounds like you're making racial jokes. The blacks. It's the Blacks History Month, you know. And when I speak with a Southern accent, this is what I'm saying. Even right now, there's going to be people who make assumptions about me based on my accent, you know. I've been working on this accent since I was just a pup. Since I was knee-high to a grasshopper, as they say.
How come you have a Southern accent if you grew up in Cass Lake?
Well, I grew up kind of the southern part of the reservation. I don't know. I can't explain it. It's just the way I am. Heck, who knows? Maybe I got a little southern spirit in my heart. You know. Jessica Gonzalez says, "Gotta run, crew. You all have a great day." Jessica, you sit right down. We were talking, and I know you probably have a job. You think you got to go run off. Think you're all, going to take on the world and whatnot. What have you? But young lady, you sit down. Nah, I'm just kidding. You have a lovely day, Jessica. I will see you again. Giga Wabba Min. Minawa. All right. You got any other questions for me, sweetheart?
No, that was pretty good.
All right. Well, I'm going to go lay down over there. Ladies and gentlemen, it was more than a pleasure to come up here and, just say Mino Giga Jabe. Say good morning to y'all. We sure do appreciate you. We appreciate you a lot. I sure do. I don't know. Half of the... I ain't going to get into it. All right. Giga Wabba Min, Minawa. Hoa.
All right. Well, Nanaboozhoo. La, la, la. Hey. So, wow. Black Lives Matter and Antifa. I never would have guessed. You don't seem like the type.
Well, that's the stereotype I'm talking about, It takes all kinds, different strokes to make... How's that song go?
It takes different strokes to rule the world. Yes, it does. To rule the world? To change the world? It takes different strokes. I don't know. I never cared about that TV show, Different Strokes. Is that the one where the two little... Speaking of Black History Month, the two little buckaday wee usses, two little boys get adopted by the rich white guy and his teenage daughter, and there's no mom. How come these sitcoms, are always so weird? I'm a millionaire white guy. I'm going to go to the inner city and abduct two kids who somehow have no extended family. Their mother dies. They're from inner city somewhere. And they're the one family that has no cousins, no grandma, no grandpa, no uncle and no auntie, nothing. So they get adopted by a millionaire. And he steps out of that limousine. And he's in a crappy part of town. All the brothers playing basketball. And he's like, "Come on, boys. We're moving on up to a deluxe apartment in the sky. We're moving on up to the top." So, yeah. Jim Dunn's giving us a peace sign. Bungay. Whoops. Bungay. Or Bungie. Bungay. I don't know how to pronounce I's. Bungay. Means peace. Shady Side Turtle says, instead of the Swedish chef, can you get Uncle Fetamine Cheesemaker to call in? Uncle Fetamine Cheesemaker? I'll look into it. Brandy Marie says, you're mixing up the Jeffersons in there. Yeah, I know.
All those shows kind of blend together in my memory. You know? Because they all kind of felt the same. You know, you'd start out, there'd be a song. Those old shows, like the TV the theme song would describe the whole show for you. This is the story about a lovely lady. La 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 la. That's how they became the Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch. And that's how they became the Brady Bunch. Let's never talk about what happened to their mom and dad. I mean, what? Were they both widowers? Were they both divorced? Did they cheat on their kids' mom and dad so they could be together? Brady Bunch could have been so much more interesting if we knew what happened to their first marriages, but they never talked about it. I have a theory that Mike Brady used to be married to that housewife, Mrs. Henderson, or no, that was the other one. And he was really abusive. And he didn't even divorce her. He was like a Mormon or something. And he was like, listen, from now on, I'm going to get this new, really beautiful wife with the 3 kids. But I want you to keep cleaning around here. And the kids, the boys aren't going to call you mom anymore. They're going to boss you around like a servant you are. And that's what happened to his first wife. And Mrs. Brady, she's like a black widow. Oh, there we go. Black History Month again. She had those little girls. And then afterwards, she ate the head of their dad. That's just what I decided to believe. This is America. You can believe what you want. A lot of those TV shows were missing like a parent. You know, they all had like some sad backstory of their mom dying. You know, the Barney and Andy Griffith show. You know, no wife, no mom. Batman, parents dead. Superman, parents dead. Who else lost their parents in a horrible way? Laura Ingalls went to Brady Hairdo School in Minnesota. Brady Hairdo School. Laura Ingalls went... like in real life? The real Laura Ingalls, who was a writer? Brady... Oh, wait, because she had braids. Yeah. That's right. She was the original braided girl. I wonder if they picked... No, I don't think Indians invented braids. They probably had braiding in Europe. I was going to say, maybe the Ingalls picked that up from the Shinabs. You know, living in Minnesota. I'm so glad we had Little House on the Prairie. Because it's at least some reference point in history. Because you go, what? 1860? You know, it's kind of a blur. You're not sure, like, how advanced were people in 1860? Because that's when everything starts. All the towns, like 1900. Uh-oh, there goes the mouse. We're in trouble now. But you go, you know, Laura Ingalls days. And you go, oh, okay. So they had, horse and buggy. People built their own houses. And you can kind of get in your mind, okay, that was 1860? All right. There's very little I understand about history unless I see a TV show about it. You know, like Hogan's Heroes, Shady Side. That's everything I know about World War II. But you get a sense, oh, they had cars in World War II. You know, they had nice clothes. They had planes, trains, bombs. You know. That's my understanding of history. Don't know much about history. Why isn't it her story? That's sexist. His story? I call it her story. Okay. Their story. La, 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 looking up close to you. Daniel says, before the cutoff, I'll say, Bumma P to the BOOZHOO crew. Fun listening. All right. Well, hey, Daniel, thanks for stopping in. We'll see you tomorrow. And maybe I'll have something more planned. La akaku jishi. It is Groundhog akaku jishi gisha good. Groundhog Day. 6 more weeks of winter. Can you make it? You gonna be okay? You gonna be able to tough out the winter of 2021? La 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 do do do. Well, okay. I guess I got nothing. you wanna get on camera, Michael, and say hi to the people? Yeah, sure. All right. Well, I'm gonna mahjong. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We'll be back tomorrow morning. And Michael, will you carry me over there? Sure. Okay. See you later. Gigo up man. Minawa! Hoa! Hello, everybody. Now I have this lined up nicely with the lighting, but my computer's over here. So before Sheila Eddy says fry bread tacos. Well said. So yeah, it's Groundhog's Day, and it feels like 4 degrees in Bemidji, Minnesota. I had my phone over there. And I don't know. We've been doing this for about 3 weeks now, I think. Time is going so quickly. And not just in that weird middle-aged guy way of how everything goes quicker when you get older. It seems like it's actually speeding up. Like even the day. Just, before I know it, it's 9 o'clock at night. And it feels like it's been about 4 hours since I signed out. So I don't get it. But yeah. So today on the... what are my plans for today? When I get done with this, I'll rewatch the show. And, check the audio and stuff. And then... I don't care how cold it is. I'm going to go for a walk. I haven't done that in 2 weeks, maybe. I have a whole to-do list of things I need to do, and 2 things on there are to exercise. I'm usually like a kind of a daily walk kind of guy. Like I should have a dog because it normally isn't a problem for me to go on long walks. But I kind of hate dogs. I don't hate dogs, like, as a species. But I'm sort of afraid of most people's dogs. Every time I go to somebody's house with a dog, like, I have a whole thing. I have one friend who I kind of ghosted on because I never wanted to go into her house anymore. Her dog bit me once. It wasn't a bad bite, didn't tear the skin or anything, just nipped at me. But when he wasn't actually biting me, every time I saw that dog... he was tight on the chain, lunging, barking at me like he wanted to kill me. And they're like, oh, don't worry about him. He doesn't like men. I'm like, okay. That doesn't make me feel any better. There's always some backstory, Oh, he was abused by men, so now whenever he sees a man, he wants to kill him. I'm like, well, get your dog some therapy or something. So I'm afraid of dogs, so I don't have a dog. I'm a little afraid of my cat, frankly. He's not declawed. Every once in a while, my cat and I will be like laying in bed and he'll put his paw up on my throat. And then he'll just gently let his claws out. Just to enough to remind me, he's saying, if I wanted to, I could just carve your jugular. Nice kitty. Shady Side Turtle says, love ya. Hoa, Michael. I love you too, Shady Side. All right, well, that looks like it's all the time we have for today. And I've totally run out of bits. Thank you once again, Miigwech Ganawabieg, for watching this podcast. Really appreciate you all, and I love getting together for a little coffee time together. Have a great day. Let me see if I can end this in a good way. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow morning. And thanks for watching. Gigawabamin, Minowa, Hoa.